Um, Good afternoon, folks. And today I'm making this video on the planetary transit, which is taking place from 15th August to 15th September, where we have three planets which are in their own houses. One is Mars, it is in Aries, Sun is in Leo, and Jupiter is in Sagittarius. So all these three signs are important signs, and in the Brigugnati system, planets in 159 are taken to be as conjunct with each other. So you have a situation where your Mars, Surya and Jupiter are conjunct in a way. Now Sun is the king, Mars is the commander in chief, and Jupiter is the advisor. So let's understand, and all these three are very fiery signs. So as far as the nations are concerned, and the energy of which is concerned in the system would be such that they would be planning for something which is blazing hot, something which is high value, something which is energetic. Now energy could mean war. Energy here could also, because the king is involved, that's why I say war. It could also mean rainfall. It could also mean a lot of things like, for example, it's like energy has to be controlled. Now these are all signs which depict fire. Fire, if not controlled, can create problems. Fire, if controlled, can actually do a lot of good things. So this is the time when a lot of research work, which is being done, and it is in a controlled environment, will start giving results. So I feel at this time the vaccination for corona would come, but on the other hand, there could be an increase internationally in the world of COVID, because again it's a fiery sign which shows uncontrollable expansion. So I feel a vaccine breakthrough would happen, but ultimately it would come by June, July 2021. But the seeds of positivity would start happening. Increase of COVID will keep on happening, and there could be threats of a war. There could be threats of mm, risk of lightning, thunder, air crashes, uh, anything which has to do with high energy. It is also a time when, if you look at this was internationally and nationally, which this planet say, but if you look at the horoscopic tendencies, generally people who are born in the sign of Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius would do very well. This is the time for them. They can plan and start acting. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. However, it will also be good for people who have the sign of Aquarius, the sign of Gemini, and the sign of Libra. It is also a time of gain to actually take out, make use of this time to gain, to fulfill their personal aspirations. So that way it will be a good period for these three signs. So these six signs are clearly, I'm sure, are good signs where they'll do well. Now when you look at this, or I assume people know astrology, and if you look at this um, uh, situation, then you have Mars going from Ketu to Shukra to Ketu, Shukra, and Surya. These are the three nakshatra lords which are there, and it is Ashwini, Bharani, and Kritik. So when Mars goes through Ashwini, that is the time when it will be good for medical. When Mars goes to Bharani, that will not be a good time, and that will be a time when there would be, could be attacks, tensions. Uh, People would be aggressive enough to be dissatisfied. There could be aggression, and then again when Mars gets into the Kritika part of it, and also it gets retrograde in between. So where it ultimately it doesn't, it goes to somewhere in Kritika. Kritika is a time when the energy is such that the people would fight. Now Sun is in Magh, Purva Phalguni, Uttara Phalguni. When Sun is in Magh, again it is, your which you say is the Pitra, which is going to be very important. The people who are that is the ancestors, the DNA. So this is again a time for, with tallies with Mars, is a time for where research would pay off, and controlled a controlled energy would give. Now, Purva Phalguni and Uttara Phalguni is like a time when, again, there is a loose. It's a loose time. It is a time when Lord Shankar, Purva Phalguni, went to get himself married to Parvati. That is how Purva Phalguni is explained, and everyone accompanied him with all drums, and there would be some kind of happenings in the sense that people would rejoice either in doing war or in doing things which would be negative, because the next sign, which is the Uttara Phalguni sign, is a sign which is a sign when actually it shows a more of destruction. That is, the marriage could not be solemnized, and there was the Tandav of Shiv. So that is a sign which shows destruction. Similarly, when we come to Jupiter, it is Mula. Mula is again research, development, going within, and then you have your the Purva Bhadrapada and the Uttara Bhadrapada, which is again Purva Bhadrapada is preparing for the war, you're not satisfied for things, and Uttara Bhadrapada is about victory. So all these three signs, if you see, there is three things which come out very common is some kind of research and development, a more interest into computer sciences, artificial intelligence, things to that effect, which are deep knowledge things. So the knowledge industry, especially artificial intelligence, again I repeat, and things allied to artificial intelligence are going to be, the seeds will be put in for their coming up. It will, and then the latter part of it is a period when there could be tension, war, increase in the disease which is there in kind of numbers, some kind of issues with rainfall, thunder, unexpected things, and on an individual level also at these times, since you have a lot of energy, and this is the time of getting exposed, because all these three planets believe in exposing. I mean, they are not the planets, so I mean, doing negative things would not be right, and if you have done a lot of negative things, some of them would get exposed at this time, and I believe so in this 1 month. So that applies for everybody in all Rashis. This is a good time for individuals from one point of view. High energy, use it. It is not a great time for it is a good time even for things like research, development, electronics, communication. It is a good time for transformation, new things to happen. So that's a good time. So that it could be starting of all those things, but it is also not a good time for getting into doing anything which is destructive, because that could actually manifest. Suppose you have been preparing for war, then war could manifest. If there is a underlying current of kind of dissatisfaction, that dissatisfaction, the people would come up. If in the air there is a kind of an issue of thunder and rainfall that has been suppressed now, that will come out. So those kinds of things can also happen. So this is both the positive and the negative parts of this acute placement of these three planets in their own houses. So this has been 15th August to 15th September. Do write your comments and how do you feel about it. Thanks. Bye for now.